All right. Give it a second. All right, that's how we do that. Happy Saturday. Happy May 22nd here in California, and it's still May 22nd, probably even in Chicago. So, yes, today is the day for the virtual Pipe Club meeting, and I want to welcome everybody, especially this motley crew right here.
Hey, guys.
Yay! Here, I'll do it. I'll do it for you. And Boris is over there on YouTube watching us too. Boris, are you in two places again at one time? Boris, there he is. Boris the Piper. So here we are with the beginning of our virtual Pipe Club meeting today, and already we have controversy. So if you are watching us over there on Facebook and YouTube, first of all, welcome. Good morning. If you're watching us sometime in the future, you missed that. You missed out on being with these guys right here, the Zoom Room crew. See, once again, just because they don't get enough appreciation. That's why. But the controversy today already is we have an announcement to be made, an update, if you will, on our Virtual Pipe Club Slow Smoke Contest. First of its kind ever. That's not true. The guys in Hungary already did it. But we're going to do it even better. And then we also have our roundtable where we go around the room passing the pipe, literally, from person to person to find out what they're smoking. And as your humble moderator, I have no vote in the matter. So, Oliver, Rob, are you close enough to arm wrestle? Can we do virtual arm wrestle?
I'm ready. Come on, Oliver.
You're dumb. I'm sorry. You're too late. You're too old and too late.
Too old and too late.
Ouch. And by the way, I'm the admin. I have the word.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. It's going to benefit everybody either way. We've got a fantastic crew of people who've been working on the smoke contest. So we've got an update for that. So stick around because you'll want to be a part of that. In the meantime, I'm just going to go right to Miguel since he was the first one in the door today. I'll start you off, Miguel, and then we'll go round the room. Yes, and Mike Rizzo's already got what we figured out last week, which was if you put your hand up, then everybody will know who hasn't gone yet. And then you can pass along that way.
I'm a good student.
No idea. I passed that virtual.
And yeah, Boris is just going to sit there with his arm up for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Miguel, take it away, brother.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. I'm smoking my Altang Bamboo Poker. And for change, today I'm smoking a Samuel Gowett Cabbage Mixture.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah, and I'll send it to Rob.
I'm actually not smoking today, guys, but I would love to. But I got to leave in about 10 minutes. So thank you, Miguel, for getting it over to me. Can I do a self-fulfilling plug here for the slow smoke now, David and Oliver?
You know, I never argue with the Dow. So yeah, landed in your lap. I guess that's the right time.
Well, right now, gentlemen and ladies, I don't know if we have any ladies on it. We might already have our winner because only one person has signed up, and that's Jurgen. And he says he doesn't think he can do it, but right now all he's got to do is light a match and he wins. So sign up. All you got to do is go to the Facebook page. David Martinez posted this last week a brief summary of the rules and put your name in and whether you have your Orly Golden Slice. If you're having trouble choosing a pipe size, he laid it out really nicely there with a picture. And if you have questions, contact David or myself, and we'll try to get it sorted out for you. But let's not let Jurgen win this by lighting a match, because I think a monkey can do that.
I mean, if worse comes to worse, I'll sign up and it'll be mano a mano, me and Jurgen.
Well, that's what I just posted to Jurgen. I said, I think we're going to sign up and give him some competition, because if we're judging ourselves, I mean, you know.
All right. Thank you, Rob. So thanks for the announcement. So I'll pass the Virtual Pipe Club to Lou in New York.
Thank you, Miguel. Hello, everybody. Glad to be here as always. It's a privilege and a pleasure. So coming to you from pretty warm, 86-degree Queens, New York City today. A little cloudy and murky looking, but in any case, glad to be here. So I am smoking some very delicious Dunhill Dark Flake. It's still Dunhill labeled. It's not the Peterson version, so I picked it up a number of years ago. I'm smoking it in Uwe Japp. He's a German pipe maker from Saxony. And this is what he calls his flow fish, not a blowfish, but a flow fish. I guess because of the flowing lines and thickness and whatnot, but wonderful pipe. He's a great guy. I met him a few times in Chicago, spent time with him. And anyway, it's a great combo, great tobacco. And okay, let's stick with Queens, New York, and I'll pass it to my good buddy and brother, fellow pipe member, Dimitri.
Hello, everybody. Well, today I'm starting with this Tsuge 3-dot band Bulldog, Japanese, one of 3 Japanese pipes that I have, and I'm smoking those versions of Virtual Pipe Club blend that didn't make the cut. I mixed them all together, and they will last me a while. Still taste good. And let me pass the pipe to Todd.
You guys, well, I'm not smoking today, but I do have my, I was talking earlier in the group, I've got my tobaccos lined up for sale, of all things, due to this strange phenomenon where I lost all desire to smoke tobacco, which is a very strange thing, because as I was explaining earlier, you know, pipe smoking is really kind of my identity, man. That's like, it's who I was. That's Grandpa, you know, and I've got my 27 Briar pipes. I've got a whole assortment of clay pipes that I'm not going to part with, but I can't keep away from the club, man, because, you know, my pipes, again, those are works of art. They're little pieces of engineering marvel, and I'm not going to part with those things. And I just thought I'd pop in today after being out for several months just to check in and let people know. And I wanted to thank Miguel for lighting the fire under me to get back in here. So I will pass the pipe to Steve.
Steve, before you hop in there, I just want to say welcome back, Todd. It doesn't matter if you're smoking or not. It's just good to see you. And my dog agrees. So
and I just want to say, Todd, maybe just a phase. Maybe you just need a break from smoking. Wait, maybe a few months, maybe a year or two, and maybe you'll want to smoke again.
That's what I've been hoping for. That's what I've been trying for. And like I said, I broke out some tobacco this morning. I had a big breakfast. You know, I had a big breakfast, and I planned to spark up a clay full of some old tobacco that I thought I would enjoy, and it just isn't there. It's so bizarre. It's like somebody did surgery in my brain, and that pipe smoking thing, they cut it out. And
nothing caused it. Nothing you can think of.
Nothing I can think of. The only thing I can think of is I quit drinking alcohol. I cut back on alcohol. I didn't cut back on alcohol. I'm not drinking alcohol, and I don't know if that's the cause of it. But It's like I've been lobotomized. And that part, because, I was looking at my pipes just this morning, and, I've got this mortar stack, which I would sit on my front porch for 3 hours and just luxuriate, with this monster pipe. And just the thought of loading a pipe and putting a match to it, I have no desire. It's so bizarre. It's so weird.
It has to be something related to that. It's funny, a buddy of mine was just telling me the other day that he had acupuncture done on his arms, and it completely stopped his desire for soda and candy bars just from acupuncture. So, I mean, stranger things.
Yeah, strange indeed. Strange indeed. So I'll pass the pipe to Steve in Colorado.
Hello, all. I'm smoking a Radice, breaking it in still. Radice brandy with faux bamboo and having some Orlick gold sliced. And Mike, I'm starting to be able to taste the lemony citrus in that. So if I smoke slow enough and cool enough, I'm really beginning to enjoy it.
So, Steve, are you practicing for the slow smoke?
No, I had not.
Well, you should. Looks like you got everything covered.
Well, yeah, sort of, except the technique. I was thinking, going up against Jurgen, I watched the number of times that he jokes about how many times he has to relight on the way to work. It'll be a short sprint, Jurgen. But
you would always win against me because I'm always lighting. So I'm here for fun, and that's fine. So join the contest, and you will win.
Okay, while we're at it, I'll go ahead and pass the pipe to Mike Rizzo.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. I'm also smoking a Radice, smoking my Radice Lavat. And in it, I'm smoking some Capstan Gold, which is one of my favorite straight Virginias. And I will pass it to Ian Reed.
I've got some McBaron 7Cs in this library pipe here, which made by Peterson's, and I'll pass it on to my friend in India, Ramachandra.
Good evening, good night, good morning, everything to everybody. This is Haran from India. And right now, tonight, I'm smoking from my 78320. In it, I'm smoking Kramer's New Mix. Now, I'll pass it on to Bill McClure. Bill McClure. Hello.
Got it. That little mute button on this phone is impossible. Anyway, thanks, Ramesh Chadran. I'm smoking a Stanwell designed by Anna Yuli. And within it, I am smoking Levant mixture. It's going to take me a while to get through that tub, but it's very nice. Very slow smoke. And let's see, does Boris still not have his hand up?
Yeah.
Okay, you're next.
I'm smoking or sometimes trying to smoke that black XX, which is way too wet. I didn't let it dry enough, so it's below the work. But anyway, I enjoy it while it burns.
Isn't it too strong?
Not that very strong taste. It's sure is, but I didn't find it strong. How about Stuart next from Australia?
Hey, thanks, Boris. Good morning, evening, and afternoon, all. This morning, I'm smoking a Barling. That's my 1983 acquisition. And over the week, I I've been trying Haunted Bookshop, and I can't say that I'm a fan. I just can't get into it. So I decided to mix some nightcap with it. And so I've got a Haunted Night, and it's a lot better. So that's where I'm at. Let's see. Who else hasn't gone yet? What about Steve? Steve Smith. Steve? Yep.
You don't miss all that girl anything?
Which Steve? Steve Emus? Steve? We've got several Steves.
Yeah, you, Steve Smith.
Okay. Hey, good to see everybody. Joining live with you. I missed a couple weeks, just a lot of things going on, but glad to be here for at least a while today. Getting ready to load into my Stanwell. Some Sherlock Holmes from Peterson. I like a lot of the Peterson blends, and I thought I would give this a shot, even though I'm not really an aromatic guy. But it really is not an aromatic, in my opinion. It's just it's got a little bit of a citrus top note that just works real well with the natural citrus notes of the Virginias, and there's a hint of burley in there, but kind of maybe a good summertime blend. So let's see. I will pass it on to about John in North Carolina.
Thanks, Steve. Hope everybody's having a great day, morning, evening, night, whichever you are. I am currently smoking in one of my old Ben Wades. It's a large pipe, but smokes well. It's not a pipe I smoke often because a lot of times I smoke when I'm working in the yard and I'm clenching whatever it is I've got, and this one will adjust your dentures if you do that. But tobacco, I'm smoking what I call my odds and ends batch. When I get to the end of a pouch or a tin or a container, and I've just got a little bit left, I just throw them all together and stir them all up after a while. So I've got a batch of odds and ends here. There's some stuff in here from Peretti. There's some Amphora. There's some Capstan, and probably a little bit of some odds and ends from Sutliff. So I will pass this on off to Justin Robitaille.
Well, hello, everybody. Justin, I'm in Connecticut. Today I'm smoking a Ben Wade as well. And in it, I've got some Sillam's Black. And it's really amazing tobacco. I watched Shane Ireland do a review on it when it was for sale from Smoking Pipes. It was a couple weeks ago. And was really intrigued. So I had to buy it, you know. It's a English aromatic crossover. And I've never tried that before at all. So it's a whole new experience. I got to get up the gallery view here.
If you like English aromatics blend, the next one you might try is the Samuel Galway Perfection with the dog picture on it. I think that's good too if you like English aromatics.
Well, there are two English aromatic crossover that I really enjoy. One, McClelland, Frogmorton Over the Pond, and another from Russellette, his version of Bengal Slices.
Enough.
Well, I'll pass the pipe on over to Kent.
Thank you, Justin. I am smoking. I'm on a project to smoke through my Continentals from Dr. Graybo. And this is, for those of you keeping score, this is shape number 41. And I have some crooner in it. And I'm enjoying the crooner, and I'm enjoying the all dozen of the pipes, which you may get to see some of them over the following weeks. And I'll pass it on to Bud.
Thanks, Kent. Hello, everyone. I'm smoking the 2020 Club Pipe, and I've got a slice of Golden Slice in there. And how about we go over to Peter in Minnesota?
Hi, everyone. Cheers, greetings to everyone all around the world. What I've got going on today is I'm having some Sun Bear It's yours. Very good. In a big old Peterson pipe. It's not old, 19 years old. A lot of silver on it. Very comfortable pipe got a sit on it, a sitter. So it's nice. Not much of a clencher. So very pleasant. It's very muggy and uncomfortably warm for me anyway in Minnesota today. And I guess 2 years ago it snowed on this day. So there you go, Minnesota. Glenn, how are you? We'll go with Glenn. We always pass back and forth. Glenn, are you uncomfortably warm today?
It's a little toasty in here. Thankfully, I've got a fan in my office, so I'm keeping cool.
Yeah, I can't quite bring myself to turn on the air conditioning yet. It's like, really? My furnace was running like 3 days ago. Come on, man. So there you go. I'll be quiet now, Glenn.
Okay. Today, I'm smoking. I guess we got turned around today. I'm smoking my Murray Vintage Early Morning Pipe tobacco, and I'm smoking it in an Alpha. It's one of my favorite pipes. It's got what I call a boat tail, where the stem gets larger as it reaches the bit. It's kind of an apple/brandy shape. Very nice pipe, made in North Carolina under the Alpha name. And here's my other pipe of the day. A little smaller. It's a very nice little bulldog. It's only about 2.5 inches long. So this one would fit inside the other one.
Oh, wow.
But as Peter said, nice day here, nice warm day in Minnesota. So I'll pass it off. Tim Heineck, have you been on yet?
No, I haven't. Thank you. Well, today, it's a little warm here in Haverhill, Mass, probably about 85 degrees. I haven't turned on the air conditioning yet. I haven't installed my air conditioner, so I can't turn it on, so that explains that. Smoking a Ronaldo. I don't know, this looks like a sort of a combination egg apple shape. And in it, I'm smoking some Windjammer, and I'm going to turn it over to Amir.
Thanks, Tim. Everybody. Today, I'm smoking my own Gamble blend in this beautiful tin that you might have seen. So right now, I'm smoking my shop pipe. And later on, I'll be lighting up my Silhouette Big Band horn. So I'll pass my virtual pipe to Silver.
Everyone. I'm smoking one of my Eskimo eggs, the first one I made, and I made it red because I knew I'd want to keep it. And in it, I'm smoking a blend that Joe Langford, I traded him a pipe for 5 pounds of tobacco, and he blended it to my taste. And so this is, I need to put them in containers. I just got it. And it's a mixture of Burley, Virginia. It's got some dark fired Kentucky. I'm not sure exactly what's in here. He wouldn't tell me, but I enjoy it immensely. And we had snow 2 nights in a row, and it's freezing. So I got the heater on and my big jacket. Going to sit back and enjoy the Zoom. I zoomed in late. So, Mr. Carbone, have you been chosen yet to speak?
Yes, I have. Thank you, Silver. Good to
Silver, Marco's up there with his hand up.
I guess anyone else who hasn't, I'm sorry I was late. So chime in.
Silver, we got Marco up there in the corner with his electronic hand up so long that it's going to become a permanent part of his computer screen.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm smoking some what is called BS flake or brown sugar flake, I think it's also called, and I'm smoking in a small Liverpool L-type. Very nice pipe. So, yeah.
It's a great combo right there.
Yeah, it's a superb combo. This blend is one of my all-time favorite.
It's one of my favorites. It's a shame the Danish Pipe Shop doesn't ship to the States because I can't get it anymore. I have a few tins cellared, but it's hard to get now.
Yeah, and I think now it's discontinued, actually.
Is it really?
Because, yeah, something with Brexit and stuff like that, because it's made by, is it Samuel Gaffney?
Yeah.
I have also a tin of it unopened, so I'm happy to have it.
I just opened
from the holidays to me.
I have 3 tins. I just opened my one, so I have 2 more left after this one. I'm like getting nervous.
Yeah. It's a shame. Let me pass it to David.
Thank you very much, Marco. I'm smoking my beloved Fillmore to celebrate, and there's on this Group 5 downhill, like half bent downhill. Yes, to celebrate that my soccer team won the league. Football team. Sorry. After so long, so sorry I made it late, but the game started like a little bit later. So,
what team is that?
Atlético de Madrid.
Congratulations, David.
Thank you.
That's obviously not the Premier League. It's the Euro League.
It's the Liga. Yeah,
La Liga, right?
Yeah, La Liga, and we kick Real Madrid. They ended up second, 4 points or 3 points behind us. So normally it's always Madrid, Barcelona, Madrid. It's like Lakers, Celtics all the time. When other team from the NBA wins, everybody's happy. Same thing here.
Yeah, I'm happy to report the usual has happened again. That Athletic Club ended up in the middle of the table once more. You can count on that.
Thank you. Is there anybody left who didn't say anything or introduce?
Oliver.
Who's that?
Oliver,
Who's that guy? Okay. The Bayern Munich guy?
Thank you very much, David. And I love you too. So welcome everybody and greetings from Chicagoland. So we have pretty nice weather today, 86 degrees. It's pretty warm. I'm smoking today Peterson 606 shape, and this is one of my best smoker ever. Whenever I grab a pipe and I want something uncomplicated and light it up, it's my 606 shape from Peterson. And in it, some M4 Virginia, also uncomplicated. I like it a lot. So, and with that, I would like to pass the virtual pipe to, what about Fadi Hava?
Hello, everybody. I'm Fadi from Beirut, Lebanon. It's the first time I participate in this Zoom meeting, and it's lovely. I love it already. I'm
Marhaba, Fadi.
Marhaba. So I'm smoking in my Savinelli Pisa 111, and I don't know if you can see it. It's a straight billiard. It's my favorite shape. And I'm having in it a bowl of Irish flake, Peterson's Irish flake, because I'm also a very good fan of Burley, and this is cellared from 2016.
You should find a sugar tobacco. That's very light.
Yes. So I'm happy to be in this meeting, and I greet you all. Thank you. And I
welcome to the family, Fadi.
Welcome,
Thank
Fadi.
you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. You're most kind. Thank you. And
this is one of the things I love the most about this club is that, we get new people joining us all the time. which as most clubs do, but it's always so fascinating. Like he's in Beirut, and we have somebody from it. This is just fantastic.
And what's I think I'm hearing you. I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm very pleased and surprised to see how much we have points in common concerning pipes and tobaccos, and this obsession, especially when a good member of this meeting said that he's anxious, he's nervous because he has still 2 tins left of his tobacco, one of his favorite tobaccos, and it's exactly what I feel. And this is awesome because we are from different cultures, from different continents, but yet as pipe smokers, we have the same obsessions, the same fears, the same causes of nervousness, and the same pleasures concerning smoking pipes and the tobaccos and everything. So it's amazing, really amazing.
So well said.
Well,
Yeah, by the way, you probably know that one of the greatest cigar makers of all time was from Lebanon. He was Armenian guy, Avo Visyan, if you know Avo cigars.
Yes, of course.
He was born in Lebanon.
Yeah, well, you can. Lebanese people, I'm sure there are lots of Lebanese people in the States and everywhere in the world because we are sailors like Spanish people and Greeks. All the Mediterranean people are sailors and they are travelers. So, and they are creative, I should say.
Sailors, fishermen, and merchants.
Yes, yes.
There is a very nice cigar lounge in New York City. Now it's one of Casa de Monte Cristo. Originally, it was called Cigar Inn, and it was founded by 2 Lebanese brothers. They sold it to Casa de Monte Cristo later.
It doesn't surprise me. But well, I'm a cigar smoker. So it's my second obsession or my second passion in life concerning smoking. It's cigars. So and in Lebanon we have lots of cigar lounges and cigars, coffees and terraces where you can smoke cigars also. But pipe smoking is my first and the biggest passion I ever had. I started smoking pipes 3 years ago, but it's, as we say, coup de foudre. It's a love from first sight. And in this meeting, indeed, increases this passion for pipes when I see that lovely people, funny and caring for each other, this is lovely. Really, this is lovely. This is the profile of a gentleman pipe smoker. You are. I'm not saying that just for the sake of saying it, but really, I can see here the real gentleman pipe smoker profile.
Okay, I think we'll let him stay now after he said that. Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yes, yes.
Well,
Thank you. And I don't know who's left, hasn't presented.
Well, I haven't gone yet, so I'll pick up the slack there.
Thank you.
Because Fadi, I must have known you're coming because I woke up this morning and I said, I don't know why, but I think I feel like a cigar today instead of a pipe, and so I have a cigar.
What's your cigar? What's your cigar, David?
It's a brown one. It is Rocky Patel, Sumatra.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yes, I go like the same way that I buy everything. I just kind of put the chi out there and say what calls to me, and that's how I picked it this morning.
Of course. I hope you enjoy your smoke.
In Malaysia, we have a rule. whoever smokes a cigar at a pipe meet will have to pay for the drinks.
Waitress. Okay, I'm doing my best. I'll see if I can get them to your table there.
It's funny. That's how I got into pipe smoking in the first place, was to kick the cigar habit.
You know, Todd, I have some thoughts about the sudden disappearance of your pipe compulsion. You've been more active lately, haven't you? You've been yes. There is a similarity between the molecular structure of what nicotine does in the body and what ATP does in the body, and so there are neurotransmitter receptor sites that usually get filled up by nicotine, but if you're out there being active, they're being filled up by something else, a healthier alternative, as it were. And so you're getting satisfied, man. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's such a bizarre psychological. I'll use the word trauma, because I don't mean it in a bad way. It's just again, because I had been a serious pipe smoker for 8 years, and I do mean serious. And it was the thought that I would ever give up pipes never even dawned on me. And again, and I've lost almost 70 pounds. So been doing a lot of bike riding and been very active, but I just, even that, I wouldn't think that it would have quenched my thirst for my favorite tobaccos. I was just one of the tobaccos I bought back in February that I really wanted to try was the Windjammer. So I was curious as to how Tim Heineck's liking his Windjammer over there.
Oh, I'm liking it. It's a really nice tobacco.
And
really good one.
I pulled it out and I'm sitting here and I'm smelling it and it smells great, but just the thought of putting it in a pipe and putting a match to it, man, it just doesn't have anything right now.
As long as you're happy and healthy, it's all that really matters, honestly.
Oh yeah.
You got to follow your Zen.
Well, and I'm still fascinated. I'm fascinated by the fact that there are people around the world that can put together tobacco products that are truly enjoyable. Number one, and number two, the fact that the pipes themselves, again, it's more than just a smoking instrument. They are pieces of art. Those of us in Silver's here. Those of us in the know, you smoke them as it's a functional piece of art, is what it is. So I may part with some of my tobaccos, but my pipes I'll hang on to forever.
I would probably suggest just keep holding on, just so you don't you'll do that, and then 2 weeks later it'll just snap back, and you'll be like, "What did I do?" No.
I know. I'll gain 70 pounds and start drinking again.
But I do agree, if you allow me to say that it's a piece of art, and this is all the beauty of all the act of pipe smoking, is that it's a ritual, and it starts with choosing your pipe and looking at it, and as if you were speaking to it, and inviting it to accompany you during a session of smoking. And then you choose your tobacco that fits or goes with this shape or this bowl. And it's a whole conversation that starts and then continue with you smoking and appreciating the tobacco with this pipe. I don't know about others. I'm sure you do the same thing. Excuse my English. I'm not very fluent in English, but I'm sure that you look at your pipe, you admire your pipe, and it's a piece of art, and you say, "Wow!" And when we want to buy a pipe, I know that I cannot sleep. It's when I see a beautiful pipe, I want to buy it, and it becomes like an obsession until I have it in my hand and I admire it. And
We need to get
what we
Fadi a
have done
girlfriend.
here.
That's what we need to get Fadi a girlfriend. I just.
I'm married. I'm married, and I have 2 boys. But frankly speaking, it's my companion. The pipe is my companion.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've noticed it, but when you smoke your pipe and you forget about it for a while you're thinking or going into your thoughts, and you forget your pipe reminds you of its presence by telling you, relight me. I'm done here. Do something. And it's marvelous. It reminds you of its presence. So I'm sure that you feel the same thing. When you look at your pipe, you're proud of your pipe. Everyone is proud.
I do. I hear them talking to me at night, but my therapist told me I should ignore those voices.
Don't ignore them. Don't hear your psyche.
When you talk back to them is when you got to worry.
Yes, that's it.
We wanted to make sure that everybody who's over there watching us on Facebook and YouTube know that they're also part of the group here. Steph and Skip are over there. We've had Steph and Skip in the Zoom room before. She was talking about the pipe that she was smoking, one of her beautiful LCS Briar Princess. You guys remember Simon who makes the LCS pipes, and she's smoking. What did you say you were smoking? I have to go back up here, and
Simon hasn't been in a while.
I know he doesn't like us anymore.
He's just too cool anymore.
He's too cool. He's very, very cool. That's right. So I can't find it. But Todd, I have a message here from Stratman who says that he had the same thing happen to him. He just lost his appetite for the pipe, but now he's smoking cigars like crazy again. And by the way, he said he also found your 70 pounds.
You know, it's funny. The last time I was on, I think the last time I was animated about pipe smoking, we had just had Mark Ryan on. And I was talking about a package that I had received. I got some mail call from Japan of some very special Kazami tobacco. And man, was I just over the moon about that stuff, because it was like the most intense Virginia tobacco that I had ever smoked. You know, I can still sit here now and I can remember what my favorite Virginias tasted like and smelled like. But when I go to fire them up, when I go to light them, it just zero satisfaction. It is the most, I'm not going to be able, I'll shut up about it now, but it's just difficult to explain, you know, because when I'm sitting on the porch with my pipe, you know, I'm sitting with a mortar stack, you know, I'm smoking a piece of wood that's semi-fossilized. It's, you know, 8,000 years old. And I'm just sitting there, man. And the pipe becomes a companion. The pipe becomes your friend. And I mean, we all know how our pipes smoke. Different briars smoke differently from another briar, just based on the grade, based on the maker, depending on who it is, you know, and you get to know each pipe individually. And you know, they're like my kids, they're like my dogs, yes. You know, I mean, I can't part with it.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, Chad, I totally understand you. I have over 100 pipes. I remember where I got every single one of them.
Yeah.
Can I ask who's the number one in number of pipes here? Who has the most, the biggest number of pipes?
I'd have to say Dimitri, if I'm just taking a blind guess.
Mm.
No, I have maybe like 150 total. I know some
nothing.
people have more.
We don't count.
Child's play. Child's play.
Still an amateur.
I'm reaching 100. Huh? I'm reaching 100. I haven't reached it yet, but I have approximately 87 pipes.
I've had that many pipes, but when I don't reach for them after like 6 months, I either sell them or trade them, or and then acquire a different one.
It's the same thing I tell my kids about their clothes. It's like if you haven't worn that in 6 months, get out the door.
Well, there is the rotation system.
Same for me.
The rotation, you can use them all, because I usually smoke between 6 and 7 pipes, 5 to 7 pipes per day. So I can use them all. It's not a problem.
Well, I'm smoking not
In the
that
movie,
Jürgen, go ahead.
I wanted to ask Fadi a question, whether he'd seen the movie Father of the Flame yet. It sounded like the intro as he was describing his smoking companions.
I haven't seen her. I haven't seen it yet, because it's a problem of DVD shipping and so on. They told me it's a very nice movie, but it's sad at the end. It's a little bit sad at the end. So I don't want to reveal. I don't know what's about it.
It's a great movie.
I don't want to watch a sad end.
Yeah, no, it's a very sad, tragic story at the end there, when one of the main characters announces that he's no longer able to smoke tobacco because he's just lost his taste. I'm sorry, that was a different story. That I got confused there for a second.
Well, wait a minute. I was like, did he see an alternate ending? I didn't.
Fadi, you may be able to download that rather than ship the DVD. I don't know what kind of restrictions there are, but
there are no restrictions about downloading. So I
bought mine on Amazon.
Yeah, you can find that on Amazon, Amazon Prime Video. YouTube will also allow you to rent it, and you can go right to the Father of the Flame website, and I believe you can download it from there as well. Okay. We did one of our first meetings where we had a special event. We actually did a viewing. Which was
the first one I joined. I actually have the movie. If you guys want to see it again, I can get a projector and put in my computer in front of the projector, and you guys can see it if you ever need it to watch it again.
If you go all the way down to the end, you'll see my name down there as a contributor.
Yeah. But David, I think it was like Clue. It has 3 different endings. Like the movie Clue.
Okay.
Have you guys seen the movie?
Yes.
Yeah. A movie which actually based on the game.
Oh, I thought you got your name was on there, like Mike.
Yeah, if they ran a thing, if you contributed and bought it early back in like 2018 or 19, they put your name in the credits as a contributor, just because it was kind of like crowdfunded.
Okay.
Mike, what did you do to contribute?
I just bought the movie early. It was I paid $20 or $25 for a copy of it. And that was like their stipulation. I think they were running short on funds to finish it. So if you bought it early, you got your name as a contributor at the end of the credits.
Is that you were the contributor that made ending number 2 possible? Right?
Yeah.
Of the 3 endings. I'm just going to we're not changing yet. We're not chasing anybody. This is like the best conversation ever. But I want to throw out there that we had a topic that we were going to toss around today. Might be fun. And Miguel again came up with a suggestion that came from the crowd. putting in some suggestions about topics for us to talk about. And that is, if you had the opportunity to sit down with somebody, it doesn't have to be a dead person. It could be somebody alive, or it could be a fictional character, possibly, that you would like to sit down and smoke a bowl with. Who would that be? And, you know, I want to know why as well, not just who, because that'd be like Clint Eastwood, period, end of story. But no, why? Why is that the person that you'd pick? So if you guys have no objections, why don't we throw that out there? And I will go first just to show you what I'm talking about. So this sort of randomly came up because I was watching YouTube and a video of J.R.R. Tolkien came up on the screen. And all he's doing in this video, because it's voiced over, it's not actually him talking, so it's just showing pictures of him. He's smoking a pipe. He's rattling a pipe in his mouth. He's gesticulating with his pipe. He's filling and lighting his pipe. I'm like, okay, let's. If I had a chance to sit down with somebody and smoke a pipe, it would be J.R.R. Tolkien. Certainly, the shaper of my youth. You know, my mother's a librarian, and she recommended me to read The Hobbit when I was 9, and I did everything in my power not to read it because, you know, my mom recommended it. So how good could that be? So we went on summer vacation, and I ran out of books, and so she threw a copy of The Hobbit to me, and it changed my life. So that was a wonderful piece of literature and a wonderful piece of fantasy to dive into, especially at that age. So I would have a million questions to ask him. And that's my idea of who I would sit down and smoke a bowl with. Oliver, how about you, brother?
Excuse me, just David, you know that I'm a librarian also. I'm teacher. I'm a teacher and a librarian. So
do you know my mom?
No.
Okay.
No, I would love to, but no. But I can understand what she makes you feel when you read your books.
Yeah, I just, you know, I'm fine now, you know, because I'm old. But at the time, I was like, didn't appreciate how smart she was about recommending literature. But now I can appreciate that she was right on the money. And I think librarians are a dying breed that we need more of.
Thank you.
So Oliver, who'd you sit down and smoke with?
I was thinking a couple days about this question, and I would say I would like to have a bowl with Sean Connery, because I like him as an actor, and I liked him very much when he was getting older. So he's a cool dude, I would say, and he has something to say. He's not a talker. He has something to say. And another thing is, he reminds me very well to my father, because he looks like pretty much the same, and how he acts, and yeah, it's just a reminder for me. And my father passed away way too early for me, and yeah, this is it's a small story, but I would say John Connery. It's a cool dude, and I would hang out with him with a pipe. It's okay. And with that, I would like to hear something from Tim. What about you?
Thank you, Oliver. I've been thinking about this too, and there's just so many people that I would like to share a pipe with. There's so many musicians, but it's hard to pick one. So I want to talk about a movie I saw in 1974 involving Richard Harris, the actor. What was in a movie called Juggernaut, and the story's about a luxury liner, and there's a bomb on the luxury liner, and he is dropped onto the boat by a helicopter, and his job is to defuse the bomb. And there's this evil guy named Juggernaut that he's having, talking to by the radio, and they're playing all kinds of mind games about the bomb and such. It's a lot of suspense. But in the movie, he is smoking what I believe is this Peterson Shape Deluxe 9S. He's smoking it all through the movie, like while he's working on defusing the bomb. And there's one scene in the movie that's so cool. He's on the deck of the boat, and he's got the pipe. He's got this Irish knit white sweater, and he's holding a glass of scotch. And it's just like perfect. And I think I'd like to be with him on the boat, smoking this right next to him while he's defusing the bomb. So there's many, many people I would pick, but because he was smoking this Peterson 9S, I don't know. I just felt like that was a good one to pick. So I'm going to pass this on to David Martinez and see who he would like to spend some time smoking a pipe with.
Thank you, Tim. As I already answered on that same post, I'm a big fan of mystery, and I always love Sherlock Holmes and Poirot, Agatha Christie in general. So I know Jürgen called us old if we are from Sherlock Holmes generation versus Lord of the Ring, but I grew up with these ones as a child with cartoons. First person I probably saw smoking a pipe. I like the mystery, even though, of course, in the original books, he's never smoking any pipe, but I grew up with the Granada television series from Jeremy Brett and many, many others. I probably have about 80 books or DVDs in regards of Sherlock Holmes, of course, including Watson and many other ones. So that's the person I would like to talk, for him to explain to me what is in his mind to solve the cases. What are the touches that he's thinking? And that's why. And I'll give it to Steve from Colorado. He's been waiting.
Thank you, David. And Mike Rizzo, this is my video response to your GAW. So it's the only time I'm going to have to do it. I'd like to spend time smoking with my grandfather on my father's side. I never knew him. I think he was a pipe smoker partly, but he played college football for the University of Minnesota. He was a Golden Gopher. He coached there after he graduated. And I think Spalding, the famous football coach, was at Minnesota once, moved to UCLA, and my grandfather followed him out there later and coached junior varsity at UCLA football. And I'd just like to get to know him. I never met him, and so that'd be my choice. Second choice would have been C.S. Lewis, good friend of J.R.R. Tolkien, also pipe smoker. Enjoy his fiction and his nonfiction. And let's see, I'll pass it to Bud in San Diego.
Thank you, Steve. Mine would be Samuel Clemens, Mark Twain, who was also a pipe smoker and a voracious cigar smoker. And I think more for the times that he lived in, you know what I mean, pre-Civil War and post-war period, and to have the be able to publish and put into words the ideas that he had about humanity, you know, in his books, and at a time when probably a lot of people didn't believe that way or had no inkling of thinking, you know, in that direction as to, towards slavery and all of those kind of things. So,
Mark Twain was famously
anybody else's hand raised, but
I was just going to say Mark Twain
else?
is also a famously on again, off again smoker. He remarked once that quitting smoking is absolutely easy. It's the easiest thing in the world. He says, I myself have done it 9 or 10 times already.
Yeah, by the way, he really did quit smoking on many occasions, but when he didn't smoke, he never wrote anything. He couldn't work when he wasn't smoking.
Stuart, why don't we get your take on it?
Yeah, I think a bit like David, the Sherlock Holmes stories played a big part in my early youth. This is before I'd seen any of the Basil Rathbone or any of the cinematic depictions of Sherlock Holmes. So I think the one that I'd like to sit down with, have a pipe, is Sherlock Holmes' creator, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I think his life has been quite amazing. Physician, by some accounts not particularly good physician, but physician, author, and then in later life delved into the realms of spiritualism. So a fascinating character all around to share a pipe with, I would think.
Evidently a believer in fairies, as I understand it. He was late in life.
And Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, he was ahead of time of many things like fingerprints and science and all these things with dead bodies. He knew a lot more as a doctor than even the British police knew at the time.
Yeah, that's right. And his mentor apparently had a lot to do with that. Chap by the name of Dr. Bell, I think it was.
John Bell, Dr. John Bell.
Yeah.
Actually, Scotland Yard on many occasions asked Sir Arthur Conan Doyle to be a consultant in solving some of the hard cases.
There you go. So the fairies bit was an interesting one. I think it was taken in by an early form of Photoshop, a staged photograph of some cut-out fairies, cardboard fairies that was a fraud perpetrated. But then he got himself so convinced that he didn't want to let go of that idea. So there we go. Okay, let's pass it on. Anyone like to put up their hand? What about Amir?
Thanks, Stuart. Well, maybe my answer to that question would be a little bit cliche for pipe makers. I would like to have a smoke with Tom Eltang. First of all, is for him to share his pipe making journey. But I've read one story where supposedly Tom Eltang spent 30 years trying to find a design for the button, this end. So he spent 30 years making different shapes, different sizes and all. And the feedback that he got from his customers were, nah, nothing is good. Do what you have done before, So he did. After 30 years, he made the stamp like he was taught by his mentor. So that was, I don't know whether it's a fairy tale or what, but I want to know if that story is true. And I would like to, look at what type of stamps did he do during those 30 years. And Tom Eltang must have met like hundreds, thousands of pipe makers, pipe smokers, right? So he will have, in terms of smoking a pipe, he will have a pretty good idea on what people like, what people don't like, what new smokers will find pleasing, what old smokers will find pleasing in the pipe. Those are kinds of stories that I think he would have an immense knowledge of, right? And then when I finish smoking a pipe with him, I won't go back. You remember there's a room under his workshop? I'll live there for a few years. All right. And I'll pass my virtual pipe to Silva again. Sorry.
Well, it's funny, Amir. I was thinking of Sixton Iverson when it's like the two pipe makers are choosing other pipe makers. Just because I'd love to not only smoke a bowl together, but also pick his brain on shapes and how he came up with them and his method of freehand carving and his drilling process is he's one of my all-time heroes in the industry just because it was so groundbreaking on what he did for us today even, and I'm sure future generations will also benefit from his strides in freehand pipe making. That's mine.
Silver, don't forget that there's a bunch of people with their.
Sixten wasn't a pipe smoker the most time of his life.
Right.
He had to quit pipe smoking very early because of some health issues. So that's quite remarkable how his dedication to the pipe was.
Very true, Jürgen.
He wasn't
Very
still
true.
a pipe smoker. And he died maybe in 92.
Yeah, long time.
Silver, don't forget that there, if you look up, you can see everybody with their hands.
Oh, yes, there they are. I didn't know that feature was available, so. Let's go with Jürgen since we're already on it.
Yeah. I have thought about these questions a little bit, and I'm also a big Tolkien fan, but I would love to smoke a pipe with Einstein, Albert Einstein. He was a great pipe smoker, and from him is the quote, if you got a question or you have to say something, little pipe before that and think about what you say. And that is a great suggestion. We all should do that. And he's such a genius. Literally our technique that we are using right now is only possible because he invented or found that principles that make all this happen. The quantum physics and all the modern physics theories. And I'm an astronomer, a hobby astronomer. So I had a lot of questions and it would be a nice conversation, I think. So I passed the question over to, let me see, Ramachandran.
Okay, thank you. Basically, there are two people with whom I would love to sit and smoke a pipe. The first one is my heartthrob, the late actor Gregory Peck. He is one person, I've always admired of. I have seen many of his movies. I admire for the way he carries himself, the absolutely cool and casual approach, a very easygoing kind of a guy. In India, we have a similar guy called Devanand. I mean, he's no more, who was very much, similar to this Gregory Peck. But anyway, Gregory Peck is number one. He is one person I would love to sit down and smoke. And the second person I would love to have a pipe, I don't know whether he ever smoked one, was Winston Churchill. He is known to smoke cigars, and I do too smoke cigars. But if he smokes pipe, that's that much better. With Winston, yeah, I would definitely like to sit and smoke and talk. There are many questions of things that he did during World War II. I wanted to know why he did that, why he didn't do it the way which I thought. But then, that would be going into politics, which I want to avoid. So these are the two great characters. Any day, unfortunately, they are no more. But anyway, I mean, if I can fantasize, they are the people with whom, I would any day love to sit and smoke a pipe or a cigar. That's it.
Awesome. By the way, Ramachandran, nice hat, brother. That's the first.
That's what I was going to say too.
Yeah.
Nice print, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now may pass it on to Todd. Though
Jürgen stole my pick. I was going to go with Einstein as well. I mean, you want to talk about cliche, but you know what? If you're Samuel Clemens, if you're Mark Twain, if you're the guy writing a book about Juggernaut, you have to be able to think. You're a thinker. Einstein was a thinker. And, you think about all the times you spend those hours by yourself smoking a pipe when nobody else is around. What are you thinking about? That's our time for contemplation. That's our time for deep thought. That's our alone time. And I would want to know, what in blazes was Einstein thinking? How many times did he use a pipe to solve those problems or to gain those insights? So I'm with you, Jürgen. My vote would be for Einstein as well. Not to mention what kind of pipes he was smoking and what he was smoking in those pipes.
Yeah, that would be the first question.
And with that, I'll pass it on to Louis.
Thank you. So there would be, well, there's many people, but if I had to narrow it down, obviously, there'll be two. I'm going to mention the first one, obviously, would be my father, who started me on the passion. I wouldn't say started me, but it's what I admired and remember him fondly, of him smoking his pipes. I never had the pleasure of sharing a bowl with him. He was taken too soon. So that would definitely be the top of my list. And as far as someone famous, Steve had mentioned C.S. Lewis. So it would be C.S. Lewis. I've read many of his books. I've enjoyed them. We share same faith and beliefs, and I think be very thought-provoking conversation. And I would love to. I've been able to sit down and share a bowl with him. And let's see, Mike Rizzo, tell us.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I kind of have two as well. The first would be my my great grandfather, which is I have his pipe. He was the reason that I started smoking a pipe as well. I never met either of my maternal or paternal grandfathers. But if I had to pick a famous person, it would be Stevie Ray Vaughan. I mean, for obvious reasons. I mean, who wouldn't want to talk to that guy, pick his brain, and have him play some riffs for you? And there isn't a whole lot of info on him being a pipe smoker, but there's some pictures of him playing. There's a picture of him playing in Finland, I think, in like '86, just on stage with a Peterson in his mouth, just jamming out. It's pretty amazing. So that'd be my famous guy. Let's go to Dimitri.
Well, there are a lot of people, but I think my top two would be J.M. Barrie. Famous Scottish writer and playwright. You know him as author of Peter Pan. He also wrote wonderful book, My Lady Nicotine, about adventures or misadventures of men who's trying to quit smoking. So Barrie was a man of great intellect and great imagination with a great sense of humor, and I think it would be interesting to smoke pipe with him and talk. And second person, Mr. Joel Shorman, son of Nat Shorman. Joel Shorman was last president of Nat Shorman International before they sold company to Altria. He is both cigar and pipe smoker. I smoked cigar with him on many occasions. I think it would be nice to sit down and smoke pipe with him. He's amazing storyteller. He's telling a great story about his childhood, how he was working at his father's shop when he was a child, all interesting people he met. So these would be my two top choices. And I'll pass it to John in North Carolina.
Thank you. A lot of good choices here, and I'll kind of reveal some of my checkered academic past, having 2 degrees in British and American literature. I too would choose Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens, but not for his books that most people know, Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. I would like to sit down with Samuel with a pipe and have him talk to me about his experience as a riverboat pilot, which he captured in a book titled Life on the Mississippi. It's a very interesting read. It's very insightful, gives you a real sense of what it was like to be a riverboat pilot. But the thing that I took away from that book the most part was how much he missed that life when it changed and when it went away. And I just think it'd be great to have him go over that time. And then also talk about some of his later works, which were really very dark philosophical works that his family actually suppressed for a number of years, as did his academic curator, who managed all of his works. And let's see, let me pass this on to Steve Emas.
Thank you. As soon as I heard the question, my first response was Sherlock Holmes and Samuel Clemens. Being from Missouri and him smoking the corn cobs, that seemed like a likely person to have a bowl with. But with regards to Sherlock Holmes, I guess as a young kid watching the movies, like David, it was just fascinating how he would figure out, who did it. It was just amazing. Really enjoyed it. I'll pass it on to Miguel.
Hi, thank you, Stephen. I appreciate it. So I got two as well. One is the gentleman that introduced me to pipe smoking. His name is Stanley. And Stanley, if you look at us, basically he's quite older than me. But I really wanted to have one more smoke with him, because he's the one who reminded me basically that this hobby that we have is this lifestyle. It doesn't really matter if you smoke a $3 corn cob or $1,000 downhill. You have to give respect to the people that love pipe smoking. People know more than you. And I promise you, if you remember that, the reward is far better than the risk. And the other one is basically, I would love really to sit down and smoke with Matches 860, John Harden. If you guys notice my post every Friday, I pay tribute to the guy. The reason why is that John is, we have a different type of life. I'm not saying that my life is better than John or John's life is better than me. But one thing I love about John is just the calmness, the humble way of presenting a pipe. And he always basically makes sure that at the end of his video, at the end of his review, there is no pretension there. I mean, if you guys know the Friday Savinelli 673, that's the latest one, the original Savinelli 673 that he loved. He lost it basically in the snow. And poor guy, he basically tried to trace wherever he walked to find that original Savinelli. So that's the reason why I want to have a smoke with John Harden, because it's just, I love the guy. Very humble. Talk about retirement like an ordinary people. That's one guy that I wish I could just sit with him and have a smoke. And I'm not gonna talk, with him. I'm just gonna listen to him while he talks. That's basically what I love about the guy. For that, I'll pass it to Peter.
Hi, sorry about that. My technology is, my Wi-Fi or my connection to the internet is buggy apparently today, which is unusual. So you can hear me?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. Sorry. Sounds so dumb when you say it and everybody goes, yeah, duh. Anyway, I missed a bunch of the beginning of the talk. I'm going to pick the person that immediately sprung to mind for me. Well, beyond Einstein and Samuel Clemens is Bertrand Russell.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Great.
That hasn't been
One of my favorite philosophers of all time.
Yeah, just a really interesting philosopher and mathematician, and kind of introduced me to the idea of philosophy and math are a lot closer related than I thought, which I didn't have any perception of through a fairly extensive education in there. So I had no idea of that, but it was like I ran across his various writings and read a bunch of it, and was a brilliant person and wrote a lot of things I really enjoyed. So that is my choice for the day. All right. I see, let's go with Kent Wield Piper 2. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you, Peter. With me is Logan, oldest grandson, and Lou took my pick in terms of C.S. Lewis, and he said everything that I would have said. So refer back to Lou. But Logan has his pick.
To be quite frank, the person I most like to smoke with, I already am. But my second choice would probably be Thomas Jefferson, one of the founding fathers of America.
Excellent choice.
That's an excellent choice,
Awesome that
Logan.
You get
But
to sit down and share a book with your grandfather too. You're super lucky. Enjoy every minute of that.
Thank you for joining us, Logan.
yeah. So Logan, tell us more about Thomas Jefferson. Why you want to have a smoke with him?
Well, I don't really have any super in-depth reason. I'd really like to kind of talk with him and share a pipe with him.
He did have acres and acres devoted to pot. I would say
hemp.
Hemp. Well, okay. If you're going to go that,
this is a tobacco show. Right?
You
keep bringing up the pot.
Well, we already had we already had somebody in our Zoom room.
Mostly for fiber, not for smoking, but mostly for fiber.
Abraham Lincoln smoked it.
Of course, yeah. No, I was just one of the guys in the Zoom room here.
Real groovy dude.
He already recommended Hunter S. Thompson, and I thought, well, if we're going to go down that road, what the heck?
Slippery slope to go down.
I know, right? Okay, I'm tossing it back to the last person to pick another one.
Yeah, that was us. And Justin, I think, his hand up.
Yeah. You know, I didn't have my hand up for a while because I don't know. There's so many people out there. You know, do I want to go with a writer, an actor, you know, a literary figure? But I kind of want to go with a writer. I'm going to go with H.P. Lovecraft. I want to know what makes that dude tick. Where did he get those crazy ideas? You know,
smoking a pipe.
The depth of horror, you know?
That'd be like being friends with Stephen King. I don't know whether I'd sleep.
I think that'd be awesome too. Stephen King is a cool guy. He's got a lot of stories. He's the kind of guy who just spits out his stories at you.
Stephen King was once asked in an interview why he wrote those kinds of stories. And he said, "You act like I have a choice." So,
just like everything Stephen King went through with like the car accident, like almost dying. I mean, he had a crazy life.
Oh, I gotta choose somebody. How about Phil?
I'm going to make a guess, but I won't say it out loud. So I'll let Phil say. But I'll wager with myself whether I know the answer.
Okay. Evening all. Apologies for my tardiness. But as usual on a Saturday, I've been at the bowling club. Great to join you again. I have two gentlemen who I would love to share a pipe with. One who's still alive and one who just recently passed away. And both of them are sportsmen. The first is a guy by the name of Willie John McBride, who played rugby union for Ireland in the late 60s, early 70s. And he was the captain of the British and Irish Lions, who are about to go on tour in South Africa in about a month's time. For anybody who's seen any rugby union, it's basically your gridiron without the pads. These are hard men. And Willie John was the captain of the British Lions who toured South Africa. Anyone who knows South African rugby knows that these are the hardest of hard men. And the British and Irish Lions toured there. They played 22 games. And they won 21 games and drew 1. So they won the test series. But a famous story that came out of that tour, which lasted about 2 months, was that Willie John, who was the captain of the touring side, and smoked a pipe whilst he was playing. Not on the pitch, obviously, but he was a pipe smoker. And some of the lads on tour, as you do, had a few beers too many, and caused a bit of a riot in the hotel. And the South African police were called, and the sergeant of the police at the time turned up, and Willie John, as the tour captain, was summoned to the foyer of the hotel, and he turned up in his underpants, smoking a pipe. And he said, "Now, what's the trouble here?" And the South African policeman told him the story of how some of his teammates were out of order, and that, there were more police on the way. And Willie John simply said, "How many are you?" Yes, because he was a brave man even to take on the South African police. So that's Willie John, a bit of a legend in rugby circles. And the other chap, also a sportsman. The two sports in my life have been rugby union and lawn bowls. Like to play with a ball, unable to play rugby anymore, so I took up lawn bowls. And a chap by the name of David Bryant, who I've posted pictures on the Facebook page before of David Bryant, who was one of the best lawn bowlers in the world of his time, passed away last year. So yeah, I would love to have those two guys at my dinner table and smoke a pipe and just exchange stories about their sporting exploits.
So David, which one of those two were you guessing?
I lost my bet to myself there. I would have bet money that it was Robert Burns that Phil would have to sit down and have a smoke with.
Yeah, I texted that, and I was wrong.
Phil, you get to pick the next one.
Oh, right. Okay. Who's still? Right. Ian, down in London. On you go, fella.
Hi, yeah. It's a hard choice, but I think because he smoked a pipe and most of the others probably didn't, I would like to have spoken with Alan Watts. Maybe some of you haven't heard of him. He was an Englishman. He was actually training to be a vicar, but he ended up hanging around with Christmas Humphreys and becoming some sort of a Zen Buddhist. But he was friends with Aldous Huxley and Robert Anton Wilson and people like that. There's thousands of his talks online, but I like him because he's a perennialist like Aldous Huxley. He believed in the sort of ideas behind any belief. And I mean, obviously, if this spread around the world, you get a lot less hate about the things that brings everyone together, really. So, and I know he smoked a pipe. He did a few things like Hunter S. Thompson, but I shall draw a veil over that. And I shall pass it on. Oh, right.
I just have to say that is a wonderful choice, Ian. You guys know that I study Tai Chi. My Tai Chi teacher was his collaborator, Al Wong, who finished up his book, Tao, the Watercourse Way. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that Al has one of Alan's pipes, to be honest with you. I'm trying to talk him out of it because I know Al doesn't smoke.
Right, I noticed there aren't any hands up anymore, so maybe I'll just pick someone and then you'll just have to type you've got an idea. So maybe I'll go down under to Stuart in Australia.
Ian, I've already been.
I beg your pardon. Okay, who hasn't been there? Let me think. Okay, I'll pass it to another Londoner. Down in, I can't see his blooming name, can I?
Buddy has his hand up too.
Okay, Bud, do you want to go? Just seeing your face on the screen.
Oh, that's Defati.
Yeah, why don't we go ahead and pass it on to Fadi? He's our newest. And as a librarian, I'm curious to know what his choice is.
That's a great idea.
Well, I was thinking of Bertrand Russell
because he's a great man. And once I heard him say that his life was saved because of thanks to his pipe. And this is what that was funny. But I would say now I would really love to smoke pipe with Mutton Chump Piper. I don't know his real name, but he's a very nice, fine gentleman, pipe smoker gentleman, and he's the one who introduced me to this beautiful world of pipe smoking, and I learned practically everything from him, and especially when he spoke about being a pipe smoker and how you can be a gentleman pipe smoker and so on. So this man, I owe him a lot. So I would choose first Mutton Chump Piper. Second, there's another one. It's George Simenon. George Simenon is a Belgian writer who wrote police.
Margaret.
Maigret.
Poirot.
No, Hercule Poirot, it's Agatha Christie. But he's like Agatha Christie, but he's Belgian. And his hero was Maigret, the detective Maigret, who smoked also a pipe. Maigret is a famous character known for his pipes. George Simenon, I think he understood the real meaning of pipe smoking, because he used to say, well, this chapter took me 7 pipes, 7 bowls. And he measured the chapter by the number of pipes that he smoked while writing it. So, in his stories, his hero, his main character, who's Maigret, uses the pipe as a peace symbol and as a justice and authority symbol also, but in a peaceful way. And every time he needs to clarify his thoughts and find the clue to the crime solution, he lit his pipe and stayed alone to think and to clarify his thoughts. And I think this is the main pleasure and the main interest in smoking pipe. It's calming down, relaxing, clearing his thoughts, and this is what makes pipe smoking interesting and inspiring. That's the word. So these are my 2 persons, Mutton Chump Piper and George Simenon. Thank you.
I just want to say that Mutton Chop was on my short list of answers.
His name was Chris, buddy.
Yeah, Chris, yeah.
There he is, Chris. Put it that way.
So who is next? Anybody know what's become of him? I haven't seen any content on his channel for a year, and people have posted and seen replies.
He's
Just
around.
curious.
He had, I know his mom was in pretty bad health. He's been taking care of her. Paul the Piper had actually posted a video maybe a few months ago. He had reached out to him just to make sure he was okay. And, he's just, life's got in the way of him making videos, but he's doing well from what Paul said.
I just want to make sure that he didn't catch the thing that, just want to make sure he didn't catch the thing that afflicted Todd.
Steve from Colorado. We haven't heard Steve yet.
Fine. Yes, I have. I've already gone, Fadi. Thank you.
No, not, Steve. The other Steve.
Steve Emerson.
Oh, I've gone also.
Oh, okay.
I have some names on my list here.
Glenn,
let me help you. What about Boris from Switzerland? He is new in the room, so maybe he has something to say.
Yeah, hi guys. Joined late, sorry for that. Well, if I have to pick a person, there were quite a few good choices. My pick would be with, I have no idea if any, yeah, okay, the German guys would know him. I will have a pipe with Helmut Schmidt. Helmut Schmidt, one of the most brilliant political heads Germany had. Unfortunately, he passed away. But I mean, at quite a biblical age, he was for a long time a pipe smoker. After that, he switched to his well-known cigarettes and was a chain smoker. I would be very interested to hear stories of his life, stories of his political career, his view on today's world, on politics, and I think this could be an interesting talk for hours and hours.
And he was the only one who smokes in TV shows all the time.
Yeah, I didn't know he was a pipe smoker. I remember him as a cigarette smoker.
Yeah, later. But there are tons of pictures of him together with Wehner when they both were smoking a pipe. Yes, he was.
Yeah, in the 70s, he was a big pipe smoker. He smoked a lot of pipes.
Oliver, before we go on to the last few who are still left there, so that we have plenty of time and people who are watching over there on Facebook and YouTube get the update. We had an update early on in today's meeting about the slow smoking contest, and then Rob had to leave, and I know that there's quite a few people who didn't hear the update. So David Martinez is here, and David, maybe you could give us another update, just in, if it's covering the same material, that's okay.
Really fast. I make a post like 3 days ago, saying it's going to happen June 5th, the slow smoking contest at 2 p.m. A group 3 pipe, Orly Golden Slice, or anything alike that you guys have. And I mentioned a few at the bottom. 2 matches, or if you guys have to smoke outside, a big, a sip, or any kind of lighter. What else? Pretty much a tamper and have fun. What it's important to us, to Rob and to me, is that you guys please put your name, like Jürgen did, put your name on the comments and say, I have Orlik or not. Why? So I can start making a list of who wants to participate with the name. If he or she has Orlik Golden Slice or something else, and the timing. So I can make either Excel or Word. And then the other thing, of course, we can explain the rules, maybe the first 5-10 minutes of the slow contest. As simple as that, but I need names. That's all.
We can also do a polling maybe on our Facebook page. It's a little bit better for the overview. So you can say, I'm in, I'm out, I would like to be a controller, or I have the Oleg, or I don't. So maybe it's a little bit easier. So let's work on that maybe.
I mean, we already have one, so maybe creating more and more and more confuses people. Because then I'm going to have to check on both and see if people are repeated or not. So it's simple. On the post Rob and me made, put your name and say if you have Orlik or not. Simple.
Yeah.
As it's written, it shall be done.
Excellent, Justin. Excellent.
And let me tell you something. There is not a prize, really, but if there is a prize or something, Jürgen is the only one so far who's going to win.
Congratulations, Jürgen.
He's joined.
So another comment that I want to make on this. So from week to week, I know that people can't, sometimes have other commitments that are, taking them away from being able to be in the Zoom room. And a lot of you folks over there on Facebook and YouTube just prefer to watch it in there. But that's definitely a day. I'd love to have you guys tune in. If you can jump into the Zoom room, great. If you can't, join us over there on Facebook and YouTube to sort of add to some of the, the zest of the whole experience here. David was pointing out, it's just for fun, but the more the merrier, how that goes. So, during the contest, we'll still be having some other conversations going on, and it'll be a great time to troll your favorite Zoom room member while they're doing the contest with you. So please mark your calendars for June 5th That's coming right up because
You
next
putting a hit out on Dimitri?
Dimitri, is our resident sex symbol. We get more people asking for Dimitri to have his own YouTube channel. He's a god. We just know that. See, you made me lose my train of thought. Next weekend, we are dark, as they say in the theater business. So it's Memorial Day weekend, and we're taking a break from the Virtual Pipe Club meeting. And then the following week is the week, right? Following week is the day. So the next time we see you, it'll be the day of the contest. And on the week off, many of you know that I'm very involved with the veterans, and that's part of the company that I run. And if you wouldn't mind, if you've got a minute to send your thoughts to our veterans and to those who gave their lives in the service of whatever led them to be a part of the military, that would be nice, because that's what we're remembering on that day. And that's my plug for that. Oliver, back to you, brother.
There is nothing really left. If you have maybe some guys who would like to share a pipe with. What about Fred? You are so quiet today.
I have a couple of people that I've been thinking about. I guess maybe General Douglas MacArthur. He was a corncob pipe smoker. Either him or maybe General Patton. My father was in World War II, and he did not really speak a lot about the war, but he did say where he was, and I would just kind of like to smoke a pipe with one of those two gentlemen and just get their thoughts on the effort.
Very good. So who's left? What about Ivan Kovac?
Oh, thanks very much. Thank you. Really, really good to be with you tonight. Lots of really good names have been proposed. Peter O'Toole would be somebody said Peter Harris or Richard Harris, so Peter O'Toole. But I'm not sure he was actually a pipe smoker. My grandfather, who was the first person I ever saw smoking pipe, a Peterson spigot pipe. There he is, young married. And that would be who I would want to smoke with. However, if you got Alan Watts, then I get to have Karl Barth, Swiss-German theologian who completely renovated and turned out a new way of doing theology as a theologian and a vicar. It's of great interest to me. Someone who thought that everything must resolve in the love and grace of God. So a really, really good person to, and an avid pipe smoker. So very much someone I'd like to share some thoughts with. Thank you very much.
Peter O'Toole, he made a few Sherlock Holmes movies, and also he put voice in other ones. So yes, in some of them he was a pipe smoker.
Ah, okay. I'll have to look out for that. Thank you very much, David. That's fantastic. David Martinez. Now, is anyone new, perhaps, who hasn't had a chance to give you an opportunity?
What about Marco? Do you have someone in your mind?
There you are.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Steve Ray Vaughan was a good choice. Somebody chose him. But if I can't smoke with him, maybe Albert King will also be a nice one. And I think he smoked. Yeah, that could be nice. They played a little bit together. So, or Sinatra. That would be nice to be cool for one day or something. So, no, I don't know. There's so many.
Wow. All right. These are food for thought. about some of these other suggestions, the ones that we didn't have ourselves. So you guys both, a couple of people brought up Bertrand Russell, and it just the name. This is the bad thing about getting old. When you can't remember what you were just about to say like 2 seconds ago. It'll come back to me. Bill's got his hand up there.
Yes, I have one person that I would really like to share a bowl of his special tobacco, 23DT, which had 23 different herbs. And I remember that from 6 decades ago, almost 6 decades ago, that all these spices and juicy tastes would filter around the tobacco. You could still taste the tobacco. And that's John Basai, who was a pipe maker in the Cleveland, Ohio area during the first half of the 20th century. I think he passed away in the 50s or early in the 60s. His son took over his store for him. But his pipes were far ahead of their time. They smoked. He knew how to line up a draft hole, and he used, well, I guess they didn't have as good a briar back in those days, but some of his pipes are just beautiful. And he tried some freehands, but they don't look like Danish freehands. But he would be an interesting person to talk to. I'm not a pipe maker, but I would like to know why he did what he did and how his journey through the pipe world was. That's all I got.
Another great one. George Bernard Shaw was the name that came into my mind there, that I would love to sit down and smoke a pipe with. Over there on YouTube, we have a couple of ideas. Squire Muldoon says, I'd smoke a bowl with Che Guevara as long as he didn't talk about politics. So good luck with that. That's all I want to say about that.
At least you can say Coronel Marcos. He was a pipe smoker, not like Che Guevara. He was only a cigar guy.
So we can definitely reach back there. But again, not talking about politics or hidden money. Either one of those ideas there. Well, we're at
There's also Bing Crosby. Bing Crosby, whose shape is the most popular shape of pipes now, with Savinelli and every pipe maker, almost every pipe maker is making pipes, calling them Bing's favorite. Bing Crosby was a great pipe smoker also, and it's interesting to know that he created this shape. He drew this shape and sent it to, I think, Savinelli to make him this pipe, this Bing shape, which called Bing's favorite. And there is also the prince who was King Edward of England, who also drew the shape of the prince shape that I'm smoking now in a prince shape. This is his creation, his invention.
I just smoked one myself. This is beautiful, not Sherman Prince, made in England.
Yeah, this is a prince shape, was created by King Edward.
Yeah, Prince Edward.
Yeah.
And I believe we haven't heard anything from Jeremy.
Well, Jeremy did put in that he wanted to. His was the suggestion for Hunter S. Thompson, but I don't want to speak for him. Jeremy, if you're still in there and you want to throw out another name, where that would be fantastic.
Yeah, I just went with Hunter S. Thompson. Nothing crazy other than Hunter S. Thompson.
It's a great suggestion. I got a kick out of that. Well, we are about at the time when every week I begin to hustle people toward the door, as it were. Not yet, guys. We still have 7 minutes, so don't jump out of your chair. But I do want to sort of give everybody a heads up on that. So I want to give a real big thank you and congratulations and just job well done to the entire new admin group, Jurgen and Oliver and Tim and Miguel and David Martinez Ruiz, who have been collecting some of these ideas for topics of the weekend, and just great job. So this topic came right from what they had collected, and again, just a fantastic conversation. Thank you all for doing that. And some updates, some last minute announcements, just to make sure everybody's heard them. Next weekend, we are taking a break. We're dark for next weekend, and the following weekend is the date of our Slow Smoke extravaganza. So please mark your calendars and come and not for nothing, please go and register as a participant, because right now it's a competition of one. So
I don't want to have to go up against Jurgen head to head.
Not enough. That is not enough. You have to join.
Excuse me, how can we join? It's in the group Concop Nation or in another group? How can we?
Fadi, we liked you so well, and now you just blew it there. That you're mentioning some. No, so Virtual Pipe Club has its own Facebook group, and you'll pass by the gatekeeper quite easily, and then there is a post on the Virtual Pipe Club about the Slow Smoke contest, and as David requested, just make a comment on that post saying, I'm in, I've got, or I can get Orlick Golden Slice, and I promise not to be too obvious when I cheat. That's the only request.
And you need some, let me know. I can get it to you if you let me know soon.
Just for my defense, I read about this meeting in the Concop Nations group.
No, we love them too. That's not a knock against Corncob Nation. There's so many different groups. But now that you're here, Fadi, you have to come in and do the whole thing, man.
Come on over, join on our Facebook group. And you will find it under the announcement section.
Okay.
So you can join.
Okay.
For your information, Fadi, when he had his facial hair on, he's a very handsome guy. I call him Pluto from Popeye cartoon, and he has amazing pictures of himself smoking pipes. I follow him on Facebook.
Are you trying to say that he's not so handsome now that he doesn't have a beard? Is that what you're saying there?
Beards make the man.
All right. Well, on that note, every week I say this, and every week I mean it just as much, maybe more than the previous week, that this is like the best time of my weekend. I'm being Mr. Mom this weekend. My wife is off in New York, and I'm taking care of the kids and the dogs and the whole thing like that. And this is my escape. So thank you for giving me a place to escape to. And just, I love you guys. It's really great to hang out with you. I am so pleased. We've been talking all year long about COVID and be careful and take care of yourself and wear your masks and all that kind of stuff. And now that so many people are getting their vaccines, that just means that we can get together at the pipe shows that are coming up. I've already got my reservations made, and I hope to see you guys there. Whatever it is that you do or want to do or feel like, mask, no mask, you're a grown up. You make the decision, but please take care of yourself so that you can come back next week. I would hate to not see you. So with that, let me say, turn it back to the group for a final wave with all these guys in the Zoom room here.
Bye.
Bye. See you guys.
Take care.
Bye.
See you guys in a couple weeks.
Hey guys, have a good week.
Holiday, everybody.
Thanks for the company, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you very much.
See you in 2 weeks. Take care.
Nice to see you guys. Okay.
Happy smoking.
Bye.
Bon voyage.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.